All the shots he will fire. General retired, General retired, General retired. He still fights the enemy inside. General retired, General retired, General retired, General retired.
Hello, Leonard. Thanks for coming down. We've known each other for almost 2 years now, and it's finally happened. Like, finally, the stars were aligned, and you've come down to play some tunes. Leonard is a very established singer-songwriter, and we met at a place called Mr. Brownstone, which is a sports bar on Main Street that hosts an open mic every Monday. And Leonard has been inspiring to me as a beginning singer-songwriter, and very supportive, and he's fantastic, and he's got his guitar. Leonard, can you tell us a little bit about, I guess first, your connection to Vancouver here? How long have you been playing music in the city?
Oh, more than 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the third time I've lived in this city too, so
right.
Here 2 other periods played music.
Okay, because as we were walking up here through the Student Union building, you even said, "Oh, I played in that room in 1975."
Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing. And you said, so you said you remember doing a folk show up here, and even the student bar downstairs you played down here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Years ago.
So you began playing in bands in here, or was it Toronto?
Toronto primarily. I played in a few bands. Yeah.
And found yourself here after, I guess you were born in Britain.
Yes.
So you were here before you went to Toronto, and then you came back, or?
It's pretty complicated.
Yeah.
I've traveled my whole life, transient ever. I was a child. Parents first emigrated from England, so I've always been moving around. So, but Vancouver's the place where I've stayed at the most.
Well, let's get into a song straight away so people know exactly what you're on about. And Leonard's music is fantastic and unique, and we'll be back to have more of a chat. But let's get into the song. Leonard, Pennifold.
There's a plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. A plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. A plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. In Barbie's heart mansion. He wants her attention. Did I mention? There's a plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. A plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. A plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. In Barbie's heart mansion. He wants her attention. Did I mention? The servants have seen him at the top of the stairs. His white face and his light bulb hair. She pretends he's not there. In case he's handsome, there's a plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. A plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. A plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. In Barbie's heart mansion. He wants her attention. In the dark moon attic where she keeps all the broken cars, he's fixing her engines. He's oiling the black stars. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. There's a plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. A plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. A plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. In Barbie's heart mansion. He wants her attention. Did I mention? The servants have seen him at the top of the stairs. His white face and his light bulb hair. She pretends he's not there. In case he's handsome, there's a plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. A plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. A plastic ghost in Barbie's heart mansion. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. He's not a can man. In Barbie's heart mansion. He wants her attention.
Fantastic. Leonard
Thank you very much.
Pennifold
Thank you.
with his first song of the evening here, live on CiTR Radio. This is Stranded, the Australian Canadian music and talk show. And Leonard is one of our favorite, well, my favorite singer-songwriter in town. And I've seen him perform a number of times, and he's finally here to play for us. Listeners will be, I think, you should be struck by his lyrical prowess. I've always been amazed by your imagery and your lyrics. And do you have, growing up, are there any particular role models for you lyrically?
Well, Bob Dylan for a start, Leonard Cohen, all the poets, Rimbaud, Baudelaire, the Beats. Always read a lot of poetry, and I like to read anyway. Probably that was a big influence.
Okay. And Leonard is a true troubadour, because literally he was jotting lyrics down in the lounge here while we were waiting. So he's always at work, busy writing songs, including that one, which that's not even on your album. No. Yeah. Leonard has a self-titled release out, and he's got dozens of, it seems, songs that aren't even on that you did mention Leonard Cohen. From one Leonard to another, I'm just really getting into Leonard Cohen because I went to the Fire Hall Arts Centre and saw this great musical that's happening right now called the Chelsea Hotel, which I highly recommend anyone go watch. And Leonard, you actually ran into him once in McGill University, is that true?
Oh, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
4 a.m. crossing the campus. 2 ships passing in the night.
That's from one Leonard to another. Because I know you said you've travelled a fair bit, so you lived there for, like, what sort of period were you in Montreal for?
74, 75 I was there.
Yeah.
Went to Dawson College in Montreal, among other things, and played around. Yeah.
How about we get into another track?
Yeah. This is called Tommy of the Raves, and well, there's no need to explain anything, I'll just do it. Tommy of the Raves says he's an anchor from the grave, though he laughs like ascension, his helium waves. Tommy of the Raves, drum and bass, his haircut cage, for the turntable turning, in a trance he prays for love to break through the waves and into his heart, where a new man plays. Tommy of the Raves, Tommy of the Raves, Tommy of the Raves. He's always raving, he's always raving. Tommy of the Raves, baggy pants, the golden chain, from the drum machine fountain sweeps him away. Tommy of the Raves, all the things his body craves when his spirit's afraid. Tommy of the Raves, he's always raving, he's always raving. He's got his eyes on you, he's waving. He's got his eyes on you, he's waving. Tommy of the Raves, in a trance he prays for love to break through the waves and into his heart, where a new man plays. Tommy of the Raves, Tommy of the Raves, Tommy of the Raves. He's always raving, he's always raving, he's always raving. Tommy of the Raves. Oh, Tommy O, oh, Tommy O, oh, Tommy O. From his Valentine vest.
Okay, here we are. We're live on CiTR Radio, and this is a show called Stranded. And in the background there, you hear Leonard Pennifold tuning his guitar. He is our special guest in the studio And actually today is kind of a historic moment on the show too, because I also have a friend named Michael who is wielding a camera, and we're going to experiment here with putting something up on YouTube. Leonard will be our very first person up on YouTube, if he's okay with it. I think it looks great. The light's great here. Michael's got a steady hand, so for anyone listening too, I think this is a whole new era of the show with me having a lot more live music on. The station is very supportive of that too. So if you're a local musician, don't hesitate to get in touch. My blog is ozstrandedradio.com. That's OZSTRANDED. Send me an email, because it's as easy as hopping on the 99 bus and getting here. It's not that hard, right, Leonard? You can get on there and you can have a nice afternoon just kicking back, reading a book on the bus, and meet me here.
Novels,
Yeah, you could write a song on the bus. Okay, so Leonard, is there a real life Tommy of the Raves?
I don't think so. Oh, there
No.
could be.
There could be.
Not even I know.
Okay.
But, I have been inspired by a few people who were this character, so to speak. Or somewhat this character.
How about the Lonely Meat Pie Man?
I knew you.
It's one of my favourite songs that I've heard Leonard perform, and I'm hoping he's going to play it today. Speaking of which, there's actually I should reach out to this guy. There's a guy who runs an Australian meat pie van here somewhere in the city of Vancouver, and I should probably tell him about this show, because he might be interested. I don't know if he's a real Australian or not, but there's a real Lonely Meat Pie Man out there somewhere in the city. But he seems to do okay. He's on the internet on Facebook, plugging his business a lot, so I'm sure he's not too lonely. Did you feel like playing that song?
Yes,
Yeah?
definitely, yes.
Okay, this is an awesome song. This is called Lonely Meat Pie Man by Leonard Pennifold.
Lonely meat pie man, gravy tears inside, mashed potato clouds across his mind. Lonely meat pie man, waiting for his drink to shine. They might see him this time, call him over this time. He's waiting for his drink to shine. Lonely meat pie man, lonely meat pie man. He sits when he stands, he sits when he stands, yeah. Lonely meat pie man. Steak and kidney stain, television sawdust in his veins. Lonely meat pie man. He's soggy from the rain. They might see him again as a lover or some kind of friend. He's soggy from the rain. Lonely meat pie man. Lonely meat pie man. He sits when he stands, he sits when he stands, yeah. Lonely meat pie man. Meat pie man. Meat pie man. He wants to come over to your table. He wants you to hold his pastry hands. He sits when he stands, he sits when he stands, yeah. Lonely meat pie man. Gravy tears inside, mashed potato clouds across his mind. A lonely meat pie man, waiting for his drink to shine. Waiting for his drink to shine. Waiting for his drink to shine.
Welcome back. You're listening to CiTR Radio, and we're on the dial of 101.9 FM in Vancouver, or online at citr.ca. My name's Matt. This is a show all about Australian and Canadian music, and I try to get as many fantastic people in the studio to play as I can. And this week we have Leonard Pennifold. He's a local singer-songwriter, and he's already played for us three songs, which were quite amazing. Hi, Leonard.
Hello.
Lonely Meat Pie Man, brilliant song. And there is a recorded version of that, right?
Yes,
There is on the CD.
Yes.
and it's a self-release debut. And I know you can get this at Zulu Records. I've seen it there.
Yes, and Red Cat.
Red Cat, cool.
But I haven't set up some sort of band yet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the best thing to do. So I'm in the process of doing that.
Okay. So if you do want to find Leonard's music, physically it's possible, and actually on YouTube, I see there's a couple of little things there on YouTube. And you've been filmed by that guy Rod. There's a live clip of Leonard playing on YouTube, and we're going to put up ours. Thanks to my friend Michael here, he has a camera, and I'm really excited about this to get some of our interviews up on YouTube. So stay tuned. You'll now be using more than one sense. Not only hearing, you'll be using your sense of sight to access this show. Anyway, Leonard, you have a connection to Great Britain. You were born in England, and I've had some great chats with you at the open mic about, like you've told me about great British music, and I've jotted it down on my pad. And so you were born there, and you've actually, have you lived there as an adult at all?
Yes, for a few years.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was that? What was that like there? Like absorbing the music?
It was quite exciting being there during the time. Early on the premonition bed.
And can you remember some of the bands that you saw? I mean, you did actually mention Robert Plant off there. You actually saw him.
Yes, before he joined John.
Wow.
A Soft Machine, Blossom Toes, band called Family, Roy Harper, and Cannon Hill Park. Birmingham was a highlight. Do you know the great singer-songwriter, Roy Harper?
No.
Oh. Led Zeppelin did a recording with him, actually, too.
Ah.
He was, connected with him. Still very active. Yeah.
And also, you mentioned... you mentioned a guy, an Austrian guy who was noted as...
Lexus Corner. Yeah, the granddaddy of British blues, he was often called.
Okay. And you, because, yeah.
That's a long time ago, though.
Well, yeah. Pardon me for prodding it. I'm just becoming such a fan of music history, and now I'm aware, the Rolling Stones were really into their blues, and they really called it like a blues invasion, didn't they, at the time in Britain, yeah. And I guess you were almost there at ground zero at that time.
I would say, lived in the Midlands of England at the time. So lots of music everywhere. Yeah.
Amazing how much that little island has produced.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, just the other week, I saw on your Facebook page there was a friend of yours who played, and I was really impressed with him. What was his name? He was playing in a festival there, and I liked his video. And you said that he's played with your son. Can you
Peter Hackett.
Peter Hackett, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cult of Wedge.
Ah.
He calls himself the Cult of Wedge.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He can be found on Facebook, actually.
He can, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was really impressed with him, and I was like, oh man, there's just so much great music in England. Anyway, well, Leonard, it's such a pleasure to have you here on the show finally, and you're welcome to play another song or two. What's he going to play next?
I'm not sure whether to do something really old or something new, but I think I will do a song that is called Charlie Chaplin Medicine Suit. One I wrote it's only about a year and a half old. He won't cry when he's given the boot. He feels no pain in his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. This Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. In his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. He won't bow and he won't stoop. He's a king somehow in his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. In his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. In his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. He's been to the celluloid tailor. He's been to the silent time. He's been leaning on a lamppost at the corner of your mind. And I know you think he's fine. In his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit he shines. Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. Yeah, it suits him all the time. Oh yeah, suits him all the time. He won't fall when the cameraman shoots. He'll stand up tall in his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. His Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. His Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. He's been to the celluloid tailor. Yeah, he's been to the silent time. He's been leaning on a lamppost at the corner of your mind. And I know you think he's fine. In his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit he shines. Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. Yeah, and it suits him all the time. Oh yeah, suits him all the time. Oh yeah, suits him all the time. He won't cry when he's given the boot. He feels no pain in his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. In his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. In his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. He's been to the celluloid tailor. He's been to the silent times. He's been leaning on a lamppost at the corner of your mind. And I know you think it's fine. In his Charlie Chaplin medicine suit he shines. Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. Charlie Chaplin medicine suit. Yeah, and it suits him all the time. Oh yeah, suits him all the time. Oh yeah, suits him all the time.
Okay, we're back here on CiTR Radio, and that was Leonard Pennifold with another fantastic track called Charlie Chaplin Medicine Suit. I've seen Leonard perform that at where we met actually is a place called Mr. Brownstone, and it's a fantastic open mic that happens every Monday night at this establishment. It's roughly Main and 13th or 14th, roughly there. And Darcy is the proprietor, great guy, and there's some wonderful people who run the open mic, Jacqueline and Corey. Myself, I've developed a huge amount of confidence going there. I only started writing songs a couple of years ago, and that's primarily where I've stood up in front of real humans and done it, and I've grown a lot through the support of a community like that. And Leonard is one of the people who has regularly shown up also and been very supportive and been a fantastic performer. So anyway, if there's anyone out there and you're just a newbie like myself, come on down Monday nights at Mr. Brownstone's on Main Street.
And should I mention it's very eclectic. It's all sorts of, it's not a genre-driven open stage. You get everything, jazz, folk, punk, spoken word, Mexican music,
mariachi,
Japanese music. I mean, it's very eclectic. One of the magical things about that place is the variety, idioms, music idioms, and the crowd seems to be open to all of it. From what I see, I'm generalizing, of course, but
yeah, I tend to agree.
They're a very open crowd, open-minded.
Yeah. And actually, that sort of segues into the next week. We actually have Corey Owen is coming down to play. He is one of the two people who host the open mic, and he's a singer-songwriter himself, and he's going to come down next Friday, along with Juniper, whose last name escapes me.
Waters.
Juniper Waters also will be joining him, and they're playing a show together in about a week's time, so I'll tell you all about that when they're here next week. So that's Corey Owen and Juniper Waters, and two other great people that I've met, and Leonard has met down at Mr. Brownstone's on a Monday. So Leonard actually brought his CD down, so before he leaves I did want to play one of his recorded songs, but I think maybe there's time for him to play one more too here in the studio.
I'd like to do a really old song that I used to do with a band in Toronto that I was in called Raw Venus back in the 80s. Lots of electric, dirty guitars, and it was a great time.
Awesome.
It's called Erotica Station.
Take it away.
Erotica Station in the rain. Erotica Station in the rain. Gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to Erotica Station in the rain. Erotica Station in the rain. Erotica Station in the rain. Gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to Erotica Station in the rain. She keeps her platform loaded with intentional dark shoulders. She takes a final postcard to the ultimate brochure. Gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to Erotica Station in the rain. Erotica Station in the rain. Erotica Station in the rain. Gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to Erotica Station in the rain. She keeps her platform loaded with intentional dark shoulders. She takes the final postcard to the ultimate brochure. Gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to Erotica Station in the rain. Leave your luggage with the porter miles before the storm. Gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to, gotta get a ticket to Erotica Station in the rain. Short but sweet.
Short but sweet. And throwback to Toronto when Leonard played in a band back then.
Yes.
In the 80s, you said?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And a very different world, I guess, Toronto. I don't know much about that place. Was it a real...
A little grittier than Vancouver, at least at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it was it easy to play in those times? Like plenty of like people say here, it's tough here at the moment with Vancouver. Not a lot of venues.
At that period, I think there were a lot more venues.
Yeah.
I went from Vancouver to Toronto. And at that time in the 80s, there were a lot more places to play in Toronto. But it's a bigger city, larger population.
Yeah, that's right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful time, mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Well, we're speaking with Leonard Pennifold, and he's a very unique artist, and he's, as you said, he's moved around a lot, and he's have a lot of life experience that he brings to his songs that are very rich in melody and lyrics. And he's been gracious enough to play some live music, and he did bring down a copy of his CD. So maybe after this message, we might play one of his recorded tracks to finish up with. Leonard's debut album is called Money Scar, and you can pick this up at Red Cat Records and Zulu Records. The painting on the front, is there any story behind that?
It's one of the many faces I do on my computer. Characters I create, I give them all names. That one I took out of, I initially worked on it in the computer, and then I printed it out, and then I drew on it, and then put it back into the computer.
Oh, cool.
So it has that organic touch. Computer, but yeah.
Awesome.
There's many variations on that face, and colors, and early models. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You might find one of your faces one time become one of my characters.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted Corey Owen.
Yeah?
I've used actually two of his faces I've used for characters.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, this is Leonard Pennifold, and he has an album called Money Scar. So this album, and of course since then you have a whole other bunch of songs piled up, so do you think there'll be another release in the near future? Or
Possibly, I won't say for sure at this moment. I recorded a whole other album's worth of stuff. My friend Steve, who was so wonderful to record me in the first place.
Steve Wells?
Yes, a wonderful man and great musician himself, songwriter. Yeah.
So here we go. This is track 10, General Retired, and then we'll play also Valentine Vest. Here we go. This is Leonard Pennifold.
He's up to